Welcome to day 2 of the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge here at Riverside Sports Club. We have a humdinger of a game now. A little bit of almost a semi-final, not quite. There's a bit of permutations involved, but really it's pretty simple for Riverside. Win the game today and you are in the final tomorrow. Joining with me to quickly talk about the game is Danny. Looking forward to the game and playing the defending champions, Crusaders.
Yeah, I mean, we train for these big moments, so it's very exciting to actually come out and all our hard work is going to be shown on the field today, so we are very excited.
Excited. They are the defending champions, obviously missing a few players, but more importantly, they're a team not from your league. How cool is it to get to play against club sides from different parts of the country?
I mean, it's amazing. It just brings out new skills and talent, so it's one up for us to be challenged by, and I think it's, from both teams we're going to learn a lot from each other.
And is there anyone in the team with a specific goal celebration that we should look out for?
I mean, we have great strikers on ours, Mike.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, JJ and we have a lot of good strikers, so hopefully we score today. I'm backing us, so I guess we'll have to find out.
Lastly, I mean, John T, obviously, as your coach, a massively experienced international hockey player. How cool is it to have a guy like him as your coach?
He is such a cool coach, honestly. And like I said, with internationals, you just learn a bunch of different new skills and techniques. So he really is a great guy and a great coach.
Awesome. Thanks very much. Good luck for the game.
Thank you.
I'll take that from you.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to get someone from Crusaders to come and join us and tell us what they're going to do. Of course, they're still in the tournament despite losing their opening game. They need a big win tonight to set up a place in the final. Will it happen? Well, we'll go across to one of their coaches shortly. We'll be back with you now. Stay tuned wherever you're watching here at the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge. And now to hear from the Crusaders side of things, we're joined by head coach Louise. Yeah, it's been a tough tournament, but a great tournament. Obviously, you guys are missing a number of players, but it's a good opportunity for a lot of other players to stand up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's lovely that we have depth in our club, that we can call on some of our second team players to come and join us and to come and have, I think, a lot of fun on the field and a lot of fun off the field too. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for the club to grow and to get more and more experience coming through.
And not just for the club, for yourself as well, taking over the role as head coach with a bit of help and not help necessarily, but guidance from Robin. Must be quite nice having him in your corner.
Absolutely, always. I think it's quite terrifying, especially when you are coaching quite a few of the national players also coming through. It's quite, I guess, taking over that role and that responsibility is quite a lot. The reputation, the club has got quite a big reputation. So I think living up to all of that can be a little bit overwhelming. But I mean, Rob has just been unbelievable in terms of just that mentoring role and really, I guess, encouraging, but also backing me and the decisions and the things that I see too, which has been amazing.
Obviously, we say the core of your team, but you still got littered with players with international experience. You still got players like Isabella De Rocha, who is knocking on the door of the international setup. Alex Kavanagh, who's played in the indoor setup. I mean, there's still some great quality in the depth of Crusaders Hockey Club.
Absolutely, and it's incredible to see all of those players really also stand up and take responsibility for what they need to do in the team environment too. We have an unbelievable amount of experience just in the club and in the team, and it's lovely to see those players come and make a stand and kind of play some excellent hockey.
And obviously the dynamic of having video referrals. I mean, it's daunting, but it's pretty damn cool.
It is epic. Let's see how we go with the video referrals. We will, more than likely, what happens is we'll completely forget that that's actually a real thing. And then we'll end up in the last 5 minutes and just use it for fun. But let's see if we actually remember to use it. But it's an amazing event hosted by Riverside, and to have the quality of, to have the video and to have the video referral is epic.
Absolutely, it is epic, it is elite. As the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge, good luck to you and your team. Of course, a spot for the final still up for grabs. Need a couple of goals. Are you going to go for them early, or try and stay in and then catch them late on the break?
Not to give away all our team tactics, but I think what we're focusing on is just a consistent performance, and the goals will take care of themselves.
Awesome, good luck, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So you've heard from Riverside, you've heard from Crusaders. The question now is, which one is going to speak loudest on the field? Well, we're going to find out in about 5 or 6 minutes, so make sure your coffee is full, make sure that your beer is opened, and at least it's cold, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
And now we see both teams walk onto the park. Some players to watch out from Riverside. Danny Rhodes, he's been a real threat all week. Just since a jab, give it the ball inside the D and she can put it away. From the Crusader side, Sylvia van Jaarsveld, also a massive threat inside the D. And a player like Bridget Key at the back will definitely bring some huge experience to this Crusader side. Crusaders, the defending champions. Massive game for them tonight. I think it's a must-win to get into the final. Riverside, the home team, would love to play in a final against in a home crowd, or to play for in tonight's clash.
Michael Baker, it is the Belgotex Sports Elite Club Challenge. It is elite in name, it is elite in appearance, and you know what they say, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it must be a rhino. Of course, my name is Tyron Jabubana. There we see Danny Rhodes, who chatted to me before the game, a player with immense quality, a player you've seen a few times in action. What do you think about her? Is she a player that we will see in green and gold one day?
Yeah, Jubs. I mean, she's a real threat when she gets the ball in the final third. Let's hope, she sticks around and plays a bit more hockey and starts going to a couple of RPTs. Because I think people have slept on her since she's been playing overseas for quite a while, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, there's always something in that name, isn't there?
It's a great surname.
Well, some would say she has a great father, but I don't know much about that. So we are underway here, of course. Just for those watching at home, what are the permutations for Crusaders? They need to win, and they need to win well. For Riverside, it is the case is a win will be enough to seal their place in the final and a chance of taking on somebody for the title tomorrow. And they've got an early chance here. Jacinta Judd is strike and bottom left corner. You can't give her that much space. It's almost like giving somebody a free special in a shop. She will take it, no complaint.
Great finish there from Jacinta Judd. As you mentioned earlier, give her the ball in the D and she'll put it away. It's a dream start from Riverside.
There's just given space, nobody closing her. Bridget Key maybe getting onto the wrong side, and that shot low, hard, bottom left. The worst possible start that the Crusaders would have hoped for.
Nikki Vito.
Another player with international experience, was part of the South African team at the Tokyo Olympics. Left out of the recent teams. How much would that spur her on? She's looking to try and find a foot there, but it's absolutely solid at the back from Riverside. A very flat start from Crusaders so far here.
Wendy Sneen, the captain, with the build-up attack from the right side of the field.
Of course, Riverside ladies, well known for years with the likes of Jess O'Connor and Cindy Hack playing in this team. This is a new generation, some of the older girls still, but a lot of names that people might not know as well over the years as things start to slowly change. As we see Kerry Eagleton, she's one of those that has been around for a while.
Yeah, I think she's an ex-21 player, played in the Raiders side. This is her first game this week for Riverside, and we can see her straight away making an impact.
Early on, making an impact, Bakes. It would be remiss of me not to talk about an impact in KZN hockey. A great couple of weeks at the RPTs. Number of players getting national call-ups. A number of them from your neck of the woods. So you guys are doing a wonderful job down here in KZN and with the school. You guys must be really stoked with how things have gone.
Jeez, yeah, I mean, an absolute dream set of results for KZN hockey. I think our 13A boys won gold, 16A boys won gold, and our 18A boys came second. It's a dream for KZN hockey. But as we flip back to the action here, Yoshi Blair just cutting out a dangerous Crusaders attack.
Of course, not just the elite in terms of the clubs that are here, the players that are here, but also the umpires. There we see Lyndall Robertson Pinks, one of our most experienced indoor hockey umpires. Was due to travel to a World Cup before it got cancelled. We'll be hoping that maybe, just maybe, South Africa get to go to a World Cup or maybe host an indoor World Cup. There is talks of that potentially happening. All those secrets and more here on the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge, live on SuperSport Schools app, brought to you by ES Media. Isabella De Rocha, she's gone and of course played some club hockey over in the UK. She passes to Chloe De Sosa, player a couple of years ago, was in the emerging SA squad, hasn't quite reached that same potential since, but looking to make a nuisance of Riverside here.
Yeah, we see two great coaches. We got Rob van Ginkel, the ex-African coach, working with this Crusaders side, and John T. Robinson, with loads of experience as a player, starting to make his mark as a coach, working with this new Riverside team.
And there's a great through ball. Jacinta Jab not quite having the same afterburner pace she had when she went to Gladbach in 2013 with the SA under-21s. As that ball gets away from her, Lyndall Robinson smiles as Alex Kavanagh in defence will come and play this ball out. Alex is another interesting one. Of course, she has got about 10, 15 indoor caps for South Africa. Hasn't quite managed to make that step up on the outdoor side. Number of games for Southern Gauteng. You look to her to be quite an enforcer in this defence, especially with the likes of Erin Christie and Lisa Marie Dietler's not here as Nikki Vito runs. She's onto the baseline. She looks across and it's a wonderful cross, but not quite on the same WhatsApp group as her partner. I think she was using WhatsApp, her a strike partner using Telegram. Lines crossed.
A waste of data there.
Should have tried to please call me.
Danny Rhodes getting on the ball. Danny Rhodes can be a real threat in these areas. After Riverside's great start, things just starting to slow down a bit for them on attack.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit frustrating for John T. Robinson at this point in time because they very much had the ascendancy and looked like that was going to be 3 or 4 rather than 1 or 2 very quickly. And they've just allowed Crusaders to kind of settle into the game. It felt like they were there for the taking. Of course, it's not a natural occurrence to play 2 club games on the same day as Danny Rhodes shows her skill and shows everybody that this commentator shouldn't talk. They're going to get the second soon. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're involved in hockey all around. It is a different world when you're playing 2 games in one day.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm not sure how much conditioning these players have done over these last couple of weeks, but I know I've seen the Riverside ladies training quite a bit in this build-up, and I'm sure we'll start to see some tired legs.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course the games don't finish here. Any draws are decided afterwards in the pub with a game of chess. Do you know that Chess Sales this year, well, it was last year actually, but Chess Sales broke their biggest record ever when they released Queen's Gambit.
100%.
So it made me think we need to release a hockey series.
100%. I mean, I got caught in the chess train. I work at a school, started challenging some boys a couple of games, so I definitely got caught up on it. Maybe we should start a series here.
Let's call it the, I don't know, Belgotex Elite Club Challenge.
Find it on Netflix as we see Megan Kariji's.
Yeah, looking for the inside ball. I think she could have taken Bridget Key on the outside there, run along towards the baseline. There was space, and the Crusaders defender, they showed the space. Chloe De Sosa with a good tackle, but then straight away robbed. Another good block there. Of course, you do see Isabella De Rocha wearing pink socks. You think that's because she put her socks in the wrong washing machine. It's not. It's because she was voted the player of the match in the last match. And as a result, she wears the pink with pride.
Crusaders looking for the long ball and cut out yet again by Kerry Eagleton.
Georgie Carpenter reading that play there to win it back for Crusaders. Alex Kavanagh gives it away.
It's a great carrier by Lisa Payne as she gets into the D and it's a shot.
Matsepo Moripani. She did have a chat to me in the preview for this Belgotex Elite Club Challenge on Hockey the Podcast, and was saying that although she's disappointed not to have been with the national team at the World Cup in Netherlands, she's stoked to be here and she looks forward to keeping Riverside out specifically. And she's so far, not a good start, but a great recovery after that. She's kept out 2 or 3 shots now. As Crusaders keep giving pockets of space here at the back.
It's a great ball here, Crusaders, as they look to catch Riverside on the counter attack.
De Souza holds, looking for the run, and then passes the no-look pass, but of course if you're not looking, you still got to pass to the right place, and once again some space in the middle of the park. They touch, and it will be a long corner here for the for Riverside, as Crusaders just struggling to get any meaningful possession outside of their half. Sylvia van Jaarsveld looking to receive earlier there, but not quite able to connect. We know that if she gets it, she can be super lethal in front of goals.
100%. Riverside have Jacinta Jubb, and Crusaders have Sylvia van Jaarsveld. Both have scored lots of goals. Crusaders seem to be going for the long ball quite often. It's the first time we see them just move the ball around a little bit at the back, trying to move this Riverside press.
There's a good ball inside. Jacinta Jubb going for the shot. It does strike the back of the leg there, and that was quite painful. As we see, it's Janelle Charlie who receives that on the back of the knee. That is not a nice place to receive the ball. It's one of those places that as she straightens her legs, she's going to feel a cramp up once again.
100%. She's going to feel that one in the morning.
There we go. Bridget Key showing that she's also got a doctorate in leg stretches. Big opportunity here for Riverside.
Wendy Schnelling on the injection. Big threat here for Riverside off the top. Jacinta Jubb.
And the early break from Sylvia means that a stretched Crusaders defense is going to have to do it with a player less. It's like one of those sieges that you watch movies about.
Charlene Bushoff. We've seen her score one of those this weekend. She's got a powerful slap.
Another penalty corner. Of course, it remains a re-award, so the ejection of Sylvia van Jaarsveld remains the same, and they will have to continue to defend. It is the same penalty corner. Although for stats it's not, it is the third penalty corner.
Third time lucky. Jacinta Jubb.
Almost a trademark there. Straight poke. Disappointingly for Crusaders, as you look at that, disappointingly for Crusaders, they'll be upset that look how long it took the extra defender to get back. There was enough time there.
100%. I must be honest, a lot of the teams I've seen this weekend haven't been great on the second phase.
And Sylvia van Jaarsveld asking the question, is it a new penalty corner? And of course it never left. There's always a nice debate around that. Once the shot's been had, should that not count? But of course it doesn't, and it remains the same passage of play. So we also don't get the re-award of 40 seconds. Shift, not a great push. Eloise Walters, and that looks all. They run across to check on her. It did hit her in the mask. Thank heavens for protective masks. I think the mask may even have broken there. She does have a little cut on the lip. Battle scars.
Battle scars. And I mean, Eloise Walters, a national indoor player. And we both know she can be a real threat in front of goals. There must have been some massive power behind that slap.
Beatrice Walton Hood, and they are just not on the same page right now as Amy McCarthy, I think it was there. No, Devon Hayes came on and not quite up to the speed of the cross, and the opportunity goes away. And this game is really happening right now in one half of the field. Can Nikki Vito do something about that? We know she's got blistering pace. She also has a player open. If she can pick out the pass, she has got it through. It's not a great pass, and it's ultimately just gone out for a 16. Frustration on the face, etched on the face of Bridget Key, as she thinks, I could have passed that much better.
100%. Crusaders just struggling to connect at the moment. As we see It's a good turnover, yeah.
Here's another chance. Nikki Vito starting to become a figure in this game. Here's a chance, a shot, and it is a easy save for Apiwa Dimba. I think it is in goals right now.
Apiwa Dimba has been great all weekend for Riverside, and yet again showing how good she is.
Georgie Carpenter giving the Crusaders something to cheer about as they start to look for a way back in as this first quarter nears its end of time. Well, not that near. There's still 2 minutes to go. But with 2 minutes to go, is there a chance here for Crusaders? There's not. They take that and waste it, kind of like when I give my kid a brand new toy and he plays with the box rather than a toy.
Riverside looking to end the way they started. Great build-up play here. And Crusaders wasting no time. Nikki Vito back on the ball.
She has grown into this game a little bit in this quarter. She looks to drive. That's a better ball, a challenging ball, but really no pressure attacking the ball. And it's you know, as a person who was a fairly average defender back in the day, I'd love that time to stop it and the time to clear it without really being put under pressure. It's a free meal ticket.
And we all want a free meal, Jubs.
Absolutely. I got some chips here when we go off here. You're welcome to have some. They're Mrs. Ball's chutney flavored.
Stuff of dreams.
Tell me you're South African without telling me you're South African. As the seconds tick away here, we're near the end of the first quarter. Will there be a last chance to add to the scoreline? Riverside lead by a goal to nil. An early strike by Jacinta Jab, bottom left-hand corner. Really not much that Matsepo Modipani could have done about that. And the early domination, the possession domination, hasn't really resulted in lots of opportunities. And instead it remains 1-0. And at the current score, yes, Crusaders would be through to the Crusaders would be out, Riverside would be through to the final, but it still keeps Crusaders very, very much in this game.
100%, and obviously being a Durban guy, be nothing better than to see Riverside and Kersney playing in the final tomorrow.
Of course, Kersney have already booked their spot in the final, having won both their games. Not necessarily convincingly, 1-0 and 2-1, but they've won both games and they do at least set up the prospect of an all KZN final.
Yeah, 100%. That Kersney team has been around for a long time, won a couple of the KZN leagues. That team just knows how to win.
They do, and of course, as a KZN provincial coach, it obviously is also pleasing when you see KZN clubs doing well.
100%, over the last couple of years, I don't think we've had a Riverside ladies team in the final. So Kersney booking their spot and Riverside hopefully on the way of booking theirs would be great for us to see.
An absolute humding is up for grabs later, of course, in the men's two real semi-finals. I mean, not in name, but in everything else, it is semi-finals as Western Province Cricket Club will take on Wanderers in what is a classic clash of two of the juggernauts of South African hockey. And then Baloo take on Riverside in probably what could be one of the most tension-filled, card-driven. You know, it might feel like it's Christmas. The umpires are going to have a lot of work to do, but it's going to be an amazing spectacle. If you are in the area, stop watching on the stream. It's much better to view it live. You also don't have to listen to the mumblings of Ty and Mike. But come on down. The beers aren't that expensive. They're nice and cold. And of course, it's great quality club hockey up for grabs, up for viewing. I can't think of too many better places to be right now.
100%. We got prime weather here at Riverside. And I mean, Baloo yesterday, I saw them win a game 9-1. Then Riverside won theirs 5-3. So there's definitely going to be lots of goals in that game.
Yeah, look, I was watching at home in Johannesburg last night, the Riverside game with you and Wade Pates on comms. really enjoying the commentary about, and I felt it when Wade said there was jet lag when you fly from Joburg to Durban. I'm quite tired. I'm slurring certain words, but maybe the jet lag is starting to wear off for the Crusaders ladies in the second half here. The second half of the first half, the second quarter rather. They're going to come out all guns blazing, kind of like the Canterbury Crusaders.
Canterbury Crusaders, and it seems like the altitude training has been paying off for the teams up the hill, as they all do seem to get a little bit better in the fourth and last chukka, as we see Crusaders now with a better start.
Yeah, I remember back when I was running, you know, I know you're still a runner, but I say those are the days where people should have had me checked. But and I remember coming down and I'd run like a 5k in Joburg fine, or I'd run a 10 or 15, and I'd come down here and I'd run a 21 and it would be like, oh, this is easy. All of a sudden I could breathe. Then I went to Cape Town and they made you run on those stupid hills, and then I didn't like riding anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
As
here's
we
a
see
chance.
Jacinta Jubb looking to get a second of the night.
I think she'll be a little bit disappointed. I think she had a lot more time than she thought there, and I think credit to Matsepo Madipani, she made her think her time was low, but actually was nowhere near the ball.
Yeah, and I mean, the first goal JJ scored was a clean receive and a great finish. She had a bit more time on the ball for this one. You would have expected a player of her caliber to put that away.
Yeah, absolutely. She is a wonderful servant to this club of Riverside. She's been a player here for many, many years. Rose through the provincial ranks, rose through the national ranks, and obviously earned herself that one cap for South Africa. Many of us dream of it. She has at least achieved it, getting that one cap. Of course, she played in Junior World Cups and Youth Olympics, and now it's all about the family, the friends, and the hockey. And she wants goals, and she's made a run here, but nobody picks her up as they look to create something here. Savannah Ferreira on the ball, and ultimately just running herself out of pitch there. But she still got it, and she finds a foot. Well, she found a foot, let's say, but the umpires weren't quite reading the same book that I was. They
Great
were
skills there shown by young Savannah Ferreira. As we see Sylvia van Jaarsveld getting some space in the D. She normally puts these away.
just like that. That moment from Jacinta Jubb, just minutes before this, and Sylvia van Jaarsveld showing the coolness. Another player who's played international games for South Africa, of course, was part of the Olympic squad, but not the Olympic team at the end of the day, and recently went to Switzerland. Look at this ball. Vito once again. Van Jaarsveld pickpocketing it in midair, cutting inside, and space aplenty. Time, space, everything you need as a novice striker. You don't even need that much when you are a striker of that quality. Of course, played in that inaugural Hockey Fives event as Chloe De Sousa has a shot, fires it wide. A bit of life in the game now from Crusaders.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wonder if Riverside should have used the review down there for that earlier foot.
Yeah, I think an interesting dynamic. We heard Louis Diaga say, you know, you forget about the fact that you have a review. And Riverside choosing not to go for it, or forgetting that they could have.
100%. I mean, if you think about it now in hindsight, if they had used it, Crusaders might have not scored. As we see, good ball into the D, and Jacinta Jubb. Again, Jacinta Jubb just given too much time and space inside the D.
You can see Linda Robinson trying her best to give an advantage there, but nobody coming onto that ball in penalty corner time. Their last few penalty corners have been, what's the word that I could say? Simon Cowell would have pushed the red button for them.
100%.
Can they pull out a golden buzzer moment? Yeah, don't judge me. I watch it with my son.
Danny Rhodes wasn't on for the last few. Maybe they'll use it this time. As we see the ball go to Danny Rhodes, and again.
Do your best Simon Cowell impersonation and push the red button. I think disappointing at this point is probably an understatement for for John T. Robinson. They have not been effective at penalty corner time, and they've had a 6, I think it is now, without even testing Matsepo Modipani for one of them yet. And that's really frustrating as a coach when you are creating those chances to be rewarded and you basically turn them down.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you spend a lot of time training penalty corners, and to just be getting the trap wrong and not even getting a shot on target must be frustrating for a coach.
I mean, I can see you pulling your hair out when you watch it. Of course, yours is from your beard. There's enough hair that you could pull out a few. I don't often get beard envy, Bex, but yours is proper. Yours can have its own Twitter account.
Some would say it's the Drakensberg water.
That is something we have in common. We both have homes in Drakensberg. Yours is in the mountains when you run, and that's where my golf club is, Cathedral Peak.
Tell you what, I've run across the golf course a couple of times.
So I'm not one of those normal Joburg Oaks who's a member there and never goes. I go every year and play club champs, so I've run across that mountain trying to find my golf ball. I usually don't. I found a puff at her.
No, there's a plenty of those out there.
I mean, I just feel like we're talking about mountains, and that's exactly what Crusaders have to do here. They got a mountain to climb if they want to get into final. They need to win by 3 or 4 clear goals. I'll do the permutation check now, but I know it's at least 3. There's life in this game. They're in this game. Sylvia van Jaarsveld looks dangerous, but they've got to defend better and give away less space to the likes of Danny Rhodes and Jacinta Jubb.
Yeah, 100%. But as long as you have a player like Sylvia van Jaarsveld in your team, you've always got the chance of scoring goals. As you've seen, 1 shot and 1 goal.
And of course, Nikki Vito just starting to grow in some confidence and show everybody why she was given that role with South Africa and why she did get herself a University of Torino in Turin. Of course, she went and played there for a season.
100%. VTech can be a real threat when on the ball. It's another great ball into the D. Riverside just not looking comfortable on those bouncing balls.
Yeah.
Very often you'll see us using the bump and run, possibly on your Cathedral Peak.
I was about to say, very, very similar to what the guys are doing at the Open right now over in Scotland. A little bit of a bump and run as, it just feels a little bit flat from Riverside right now. They've just allowed Crusaders to get back into this game. And I mean, usually when you watch a game as a commentator, you feel in your neck where the game is, because in that first quarter we were looking at the right-hand side of the field, and now I feel like we're looking a lot more to the left, which shows that Crusaders are just starting to get a bit more possession, and Riverside will look to take advantage of that. Danny Rhodes thought that it was hers. Alex Kavanagh thought it was Danny Rhodes, and Alex Kavanagh gets the ball.
100%. That's a great ball there. It's a mistrap. Loads of numbers on the left-hand side there for Crusaders. Riverside just looking to shift the momentum as we see Alka get onto the ball. It's a great ball down the line, and this is where Danny Rhodes can be a real threat for Riverside.
Credit there to Alex Kavanagh, not giving her the space. I think, though, again, this is a game where you'd like to almost see a player, maybe, instead of looking that early ball inside that was quite crowded, take on the baseline.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to see more players carrying the ball in those dangerous
Chance here
areas.
for Danny Rhodes. Wow, touch of class. There was everything about that goal was elite. They affected the turnover. She came in. Matsepo Modipani came out as a good keeper would do. But a wonderful touch inside and the composure to lift it up over Matsepo Modipani. And Crusaders have just conceded on the back of their best period of play.
100%. The 2 players from Riverside we've spoken about, Jacinta Jubb and Danny Rhodes, making the difference at the moment. Crusaders will be disappointed, having had most of the ball so far on this chukka.
fairly soft concession. They allowed the ball at the back. They played in the middle, lost ball, turned over. Danny Rhodes responding the quickest and showing cool, calm composure to turn it inside and just finish over the head of a diving Matsepo Morapani. And all of a sudden the spring is back in the step in the middle of winter as Riverside pull inside. There's Rhodes again. Ooh, you don't have to give her two chances.
Jeepers, Danny Rhodes just full of confidence at the moment. Crusaders just looking to slow this one down, having been on the back foot for the last couple of minutes here.
Isabella De Rocha, a little bit of a peripheral figure in this second quarter in the middle there. You want to see her get a bit more involved. She's an impactful player. Good work there from Beatrice Wharton-Hood. She comes back to Bridget Key. I feel like gets younger every time we see her, drinking from the curious case of Benjamin Button. Alex Kavanagh going off her feet there, but doing well to not commit the foul. But it feels like a case of when, not if right now for Riverside as that ball comes in. And it is a long corner deflection off of a Crusaders stick.
Yeah, it's all Riverside at the moment. Riverside getting Kerry Eagleton back on the ball, really making a difference in tonight's game. As we see Georgia Swart getting a great circle entry out for Riverside. And
I am not sure how they didn't score that one.
but Sepo showing her class there and somehow keeping that ball out. And I saw it fall to Danny Rhodes. I thought she would put away and score a second.
I'll tell you what, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching, do yourself a quick rewind and watch that again. That was sensational from Matsepo Morapani.
Louise Walters with a great ball. Riverside just having too much space and time in this final third. So Jubs, have you got your golf clubs down at all?
Not on this trip, unfortunately. Our common friend Craig Woods, who usually hosts me when I come, is too busy. He's busy romancing the wife and took her away. I said it's a disappointing decision that he made, but it's one that he made anyway.
Yeah, it's a tough decision there by him. Why would he not want to play a round of golf with you?
No, of course, it's all about the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge this time around. So, when the game ends, we've got to do a lot of analysis afterwards in the facility that has a beverage dispenser, just to understand the way the game went and all of that. And there's a penalty corner here given to Crusaders, and there is a chance to come back in. I saw them warming up their penalty corners before the game, and they do have it in their arsenal to get something back here if they can.
Yeah, Riverside haven't been great at short corner time. Could this be the difference? Could this get Crusaders back to even score?
We've seen at the Women's World Cup over in Netherlands and Spain. I know you would have been following pretty much as eagerly as I was. We're both big hockey nerds. Penalty corners have been poor. The conversion rate incredibly low, mostly because of Pumalelo and Banda, but realistically it's something that will be very, very disappointing for all teams around the world. Is penalty corners in the women's game right now are not being converted as freely as maybe the coaches would want them to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams have invested a lot more time in short corner defense. I mean, especially if you look in the men's game, how easily guys are scoring goals off drag flicks. So I think teams are trying to master the art of the PCD. But yet again, we see a short corner just not being trapped off the top, and that's got nothing to do with the PCD.
Yeah, I think that's the disappointing thing is we've seen 8 penalty corners in this game and we've yet to see a keeper make a save, as that is a wonderful through ball. Jacinta Jab gets it, she strikes, Matepo makes the save, and on the follow through, unable to control it, was Savannah Ferreira. That was a chance where she would have seen the goals lighting up in her eyes, and they, well, that's pretty much all they did was light up as they weren't converted.
Yeah, again, a player like Jacinta Jubb getting the ball and a free shot on a backhand. I would have expected her to put that one away with her class. But Masepo just showing how good she really is. And there's the long handle. Big drive into the bottom of the field.
Yeah, Bakes, I just want to bring it back quickly. The penalty corners, that's the thing that's been disappointing. I think even at the World Cup, and there was a lot of comments about whether the polytan turf was causing difficulties or not. But yeah, you know, you got no excuse here on this Belgotex turf. It's true. I've rolled the ball out there. There's no problem with the turf. So the fact that, you know, the problems are coming from the injection, the problems are coming from the stop, and not necessarily from good defense. I think 1 of 8 have been really well defended tonight. The rest have been disappointingly wasteful.
100%. You wonder how much time teams have spent, you know, on the trappers and the injectors.
As we do get to the half-time break, it is the Riverside Hockey Club who lead by 2-1. They lead thanks to the efforts of Jacinta Jubb and Danny Rhodes. Of course, Crusaders did pick it back through Sylvia van Jaarsveld. But at the break, it is Riverside with 1 foot in the final as they lead 2-1. We'll be back with you in a few minutes.
it? Hello.
Okay, cool.
And my team started.
Yeah, no, they won't. The umpire won't. It's half time. It's 2-1 to Riverside. With me is Olympian Nikki Vito. Nikki, obviously, tough first half, but you guys did start to get back into it. What's going to change in the second?
Hopefully take all our opportunities and keep the ball moving, because I think we're running a little bit. So yeah, keep the ball moving and take our opportunities.
Awesome. Good luck. I won't hold you back because they want to go. I'm going to hand you back to Michael Baker in the commentary box for the second half.
Man, it was absolute scenes of beauty. Seeing Jabu run across the turf now to sneak in that interview with Nikki Vito as we look to get the second half underway. Chloe De Caesar looking to get Crusaders back in this game. Wasting no time here, Crusaders. As they look to get the ball inside the D. And well cut out here by Carey Eagleton. Crusaders looking to get back into this game and earn a spot in the final. And Riverside just hoping to do more of the same in a game that winner takes all. Coach Jonty working his coaching board there at half-time. I'm sure he's quite pleased with what his ladies put on the first half. Crusaders looking to connect a bit more here, just giving the ball away. As we see Courtney Fenstra get on the ball. Eloise Walters has been solid all weekend. Nikki Vito always threatening the side of the field. And winning the long corner. You don't want to give a player like Nikki Vito that much space.
A touch unfortunate not to get the penalty corner there, Bakes. Looked like there was a bit of intention in that clearance.
Jubs, a little bit out of breath there.
I can confirm that the oxygen still doesn't get to my lungs quickly down here.
It is game 3. And I'm sure you're not the only person that's out of breath on this turf.
Interesting seeing the body language of the Crusaders team at the halftime break. They look pretty pleased actually with their first half performance, despite the fact that they're trailing.
Yeah, I mean, they are the defending champions. I think a lot of RPT winners in this team. I'm sure they just back themselves and trust the process. As we see Sylvia van Jaarsveld, the real threat in this Crusaders team, putting a big ball through to Nikki Vito.
Yes, Vito, can she show that calmness, coolness? She's got it around. Probably the wrong choice in shot. And van Jaarsveld, I felt that came off her foot. There may be a referral if they do get this in. That's
Crusaders.
And there is a referral here. And I'm telling you, I think both teams could refer. They are going to ask for a foot in the circle. What a great dynamic to have at the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge is the ability to refer a penalty corner or goal or any decision. Video referrals. Here it is. There's the signal. And it's going to come up here to the third umpire as they will stream through the different reviews. We can't quite give you that on the feed. That's not one of our options, but I love it.
Absolutely game-changing stuff here from Belgotex, bringing in the review system. I saw it used 3 times this morning successfully, and definitely changing the game here.
So they will look at it twice. They'll look at it 3 times. Look at it 4 times.
It's a big call.
In real time, I'll be honest, I thought there was a foot for Crusaders before that. And then there was a foot, but you know, how far back do you go when you're a video umpire? Do you look at both? sections of play. Do you look at one section of play? I see the fingers being pointed, the zoom in going in. And I can just imagine in each of those players' ears right now, they're hearing that beat of that. Or obviously a better sound effect. I'm not a good beatboxer.
With all to play for, yeah. A spot in the final of the biggest club tournament across the country. Massive review here for our third umpire.
It's an interesting dynamic because it's a bit of a period of stoppage, and what you see is a lot of players standing around, a few players trying to stretch and stay limber. You know, these stoppages are often quite impactful in in changing the momentum of the game.
No, exactly. Crusaders with a bit of momentum and looking to get back into it. I'm sure they wouldn't have wanted this long stoppage. And Riverside being 2-1 up, wouldn't mind a little break and play.
Tough to see from the camera angles provided. Is there anything clear enough to give the award? They immediately went for the referral. All right, here comes the decision. Penalty corner. The referral is awarded. It is correct. And Binks Robertson has to point to a penalty corner. There was a foot. Viva la video referral. Viva.
Viva. And will Crusaders be saying Viva after this penalty corner? Will we finally see a well executed penalty corner here by Crusaders? Van Josveld with injection. Looks like Alex is placed on top D.
This goes to Bridget Key. She drives it in, but nobody on the end of it. An interesting dynamic. You know, when the pushing's not going so well, when the striking's not going so well, I'm always a big fan of slipping it back to the pusher. They usually have enough space because the chasers don't head that way. It's not been a variation used at all today so far.
Yeah, 100%. Don't know if teams are trying to build some confidence for their batches of the top D, as we see Nikki Vito really getting into this game.
She'll be disappointed with the execution of that after doing so well to create that space again. She really is becoming the central figure of this game. It feels like whatever story is going to be written in this game, Nikki Vito is going to play a part in it.
100% will say. Some would say it was the 2 minutes Nikki Vito spent with you at halftime that seems to be making the difference here.
I mean, if I can get an assist, I've never been one to deny one. There's Eloise Walters looking for the through ball down the middle, but just picking out a Crusaders player. Bella DeRocha picking up Sylvia van Jaarsveld. Here they have it down the middle. Nikki Vito making the overlap run. She gets the touch, but just enough throw wide, and it is a 16.
Crusaders starting to find a lot of space on this right-hand channel here. Maybe something they spoke about at half-time.
That was comedic from Nikki Vito as she ducked out of the way and used her stick.
Was it a bird or a plane?
Just a kookaburra hockey ball. And she has a chance. Sylvia van Jaarsveld, she fires it. It is on target, easily saved. And the rebound hits the back of van Jaarsveld's stick. And get out of jail for Riverside, who are just on the back foot once again. We know that's how they scored in the second quarter. Soaked up the pressure and they went and turned it around. But maybe allowing too much pressure right now for John T. Robertson's liking.
100%. Unless it's a plan of theirs to look to catch this Crusaders team off the counter. We've also seen a goalkeeper substitute here by Riverside. Apiwe Dimba showing her worth in the first half.
Sylvia van Jaarsveld, another player growing in her impact in this game, starting to get involved on the ball a little bit more. And it's no coincidence that Van Jaarsveld and Vito started playing better and Crusaders are looking more dangerous.
Definitely two massive threats. Given any time inside the D, they'll look to put it away. Definitely Crusaders with the momentum shift at the moment. Alex with the big ball through.
Again, Van Jaarsveld on the ball, but mistraps that, and it's a get out of jail for Riverside. Wonderful touches in the middle of the park, and there's a superb through ball. Is there enough in the legs? Matsepo Modipani says it doesn't matter if there is, I'll get there first. But here they come, Riverside again, and Matsepo Modipani again. What a fantastic period of play that was.
Absolutely incredible goalkeeping by Matsepo. Just denying Riverside a chance to go 3-1 up.
So great to see a keeper come off her line so convincingly, so quick, so committed, and get there.
100%. Some cat-like reflex there shown by Matsepo.
Maybe it's actually Katsepo. Moripozi. No, we'll just stick with the Katsepo. Of course, here goes Crusaders looking for 9 lives of their own as they look for a way back into this game, looking to steal the victory and break the Riverside heart.
It's a good ball in. But Matsepo wearing some Garfield colours, making some cat-like saves at the moment.
Do you know, if only one of us could be behind those accounts, I don't know, Inside Pool or Hockey Magazine, we should get a graphic out there of Katsepo.
Katsepo.
It's going to stick.
It's got to stick. Proving to be the difference. As we see Alka driving on the right side, yeah, for Riverside. Really good carrier from Alka.
Can only be good for KZ in hockey as that ball does find someone in the middle there who fires it over the top. I was going to say, Bakes, it can only be good for KZ in hockey to see a good Riverside's team once again, you know, offering you lots of provincial players, offering you, you know, it's one of your old lady clubs of the province, and it would be great to see, you know, the team start to be back at that dominant force that they were once before.
Yeah, 100%. I think the last time Crusaders won RPT was in 2017. Sorry, Riverside. KZN won RPT was in 2017. And that was the year Riverside won the Elite Club Challenge. So could we see history repeat itself?
You remember where that RPT was?
It was in Joburg.
Yeah, well, okay, not quite Joburg this time around, Pretoria, but
Yeah.
could we see it? Of course, it was an unprecedented time of success with KZN Hockey winning the double in men and the double in women in the same year. Indoor and outdoor RPT champions in the same year. All 4 RPT trophies in one province. Incredible stuff.
Absolutely incredible year. And it's a year all of us in KZN won't forget.
Of course, this year's RPT sees the return of the men's tournament, which hasn't happened in a couple of years. A lot of youngsters. We've just seen the under-18s. James Flint, a guy with incredible skill. Ross Montgomery, who we know is playing here. Alex Blows, sensational hockey players. So excited to see them. And of course, don't forget the SA under-18 girls as well, who played so well in that under-21 squad. Topa Makwena, can you actually go anywhere without seeing that girl's name? It's going to light up. Sensational hockey player, that.
Yeah, 100%. We always say we struggle to score goals, and a player like that scored plenty of goals in this last series for the under-18 side.
Now that looked so.
Some would say a bone-crushing challenge as Crusaders look to get back into this game.
I'm not sure that actually should have been a Riverside ball, you know, not just because you got hit on the hand is that your ball. But anyway, it is, and so Riverside will continue to just try and hold on to this 2-1 lead.
See a big challenge there by Sylvia van Jaarsveld as Crusaders look to push to get back into this game.
Of course, more action up. The two men's games, of course, coming up tonight. We've got the women's game. Of course, it's really just a battle for pride because Kearsley have already secured a spot in the final and will be joined by, at this stage, anyone still, depending on what the result is. It could be Phoenix, it could be Riverside, and it could be Crusaders still.
Sylvia van Jaarsveld. Again, a play. You want to be giving space on the backhand. Well cut out, yeah, by Riverside.
Caitlin McIntosh getting the work done there. Crusaders having a much better territorial view of this game. Alex Kavanagh looking for some space, passes it out wide. I really do enjoy watching Alex Kavanagh play. I think she's got such a cool calmness about her, and often has played in some Southern Gauteng sides where they are very much a front foot team and defence is last thought. We sometimes have to do some magical stuff at the back in regards to that.
100% shows great composure on the ball. As we see some good build-up here from Crusaders. And cut out yet again by Charlene Bushoff, the Riverside number 6, who's had a solid game.
Of course, not just the best players in the country, we've got some of the best umpires around as well.
Charlene Bushoff back on the ball. She has a great fake slap. Opting to go the aero route, just not paying off this time. Eloise Walters being cool and calm in defense. She went down this morning and we see her wearing the knee guard. I spoke to her after the game. She said something to do with her meniscus, but she's a tough character as we've seen her in the international indoor circuit.
I was going to say, I was at an indoor RPT where her knee snapped and she still wanted to finish the game playing for KZN Inland. Of course, she is a Maritzburg girl, so she was playing for her inland team, but she was proudly pulled back together along with her sister and snapped her knee, and of course was out for a long period of time. But boy, did she come back bouncing.
Some would say they don't make them like they used to.
I'll tell you what, I'm not even sure they used to make them as good as they make Eloise, but that's a good tackle at the back.
As we see a card come out here.
Jacinta Jubb getting a card for deliberately kicking the ball away. She says, I haven't done if I deliberately kicked it, do you think it would have stayed so close?
Yeah, I just saw some fancy footwork there from Jacinta, which we might see later on in the bar. Feet moving in some different positions.
I think it's safe to assume that she didn't agree with that decision, looking at her facial gestures as she came in there.
Either that or she swallowed a wasp, as we see Riverside win a penalty corner. Obviously the penalty corners haven't really paid off tonight. Could we finally see some reward from the penalty corner?
Of course, tomorrow the South African men's and women's teams are playing in Wales. It's not actually available for anyone to watch here in South Africa, unless you know a person that knows a person that knows a person. As they prepare for the Commonwealth Games, the men on the back of the FIH Pro League disappointment. Great opportunity, but frustrated to never be able to really put out their best 16 in the same test. But they'll be looking to bounce back as we see this injection. Penalty corner, and there is the goal. John T. Robinson will be breathing a lot easier now. A much better injection there, something that he would be proud of, as he did that over 100 for over 100 tests for South Africa. And of course, the woman who had a disappointing World Cup will be looking to try and get some pride and obviously importantly some ranking points against Wales and at the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, 100%. And we spoke about it earlier. Pumi, just absolutely fantastic. I mean, some would say kept us in a lot of those games. But we've heard, which is crazy to say, the World Cup was prepped for the Commonwealth Games. So I'm sure we can expect some more from our women's side.
Yeah, I mean, it's an insane statement when you make it like that and you say the World Cup, which is the pinnacle of the sport, the World Cup, is the preparation for the Commonwealth Game. But realistically speaking, unfortunately, the nature of the beast, Giles Bonet took over 7 weeks before a World Cup. No RPT, no selection camp. He had a squad, that was it. And he pretty much had to do what he could. And I don't really think the Commonwealth Games is going to see significant change, significant difference. Australia and New Zealand in our pool, two tough games to play. But I think what we should start to see is a little bit more of that competitiveness that allows us to go when we play against the other nations in the Nations Cup in December. I think that's really where we can start marking the impact of Giles and his coaching staff is there. And, you know, at that point then we can start saying, well, maybe it's not going well, maybe it's going well, maybe there's progress. But there were some signs of life. The 3-3 draw against Japan, a great come from behind performance. The 2-1 against Australia, competitive effort. So, you know, girls hockey, women's hockey in South Africa has not been in its healthiest place over a couple of years. And, you know, seeing games like this is going to help. There's some good depth out there. It's just about getting the right players to the RPT and those players needing to perform in that week.
100%. And massive thanks to Belgotex for bringing us this action. And again, just growing the women's game and the men's game at club level. Because obviously this is where it all starts. This is where players are training week in and week out before they can go and perform at a stage like RPT.
Absolutely. We have 15 minutes left. Riverside have got a foot in the final. In fact, they would need to concede 4 goals here to miss out on the final. And well, it's possible, but hasn't looked likely to be honest. 4 goals is what it would take. So, as it stands, it is an all KZN. The Belgotex Elite Club Challenge is coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home.
It's coming.
I'm not going to sing it.
We did this morning see Riverside score 4 goals in the last chukka. Can we see Crusaders do the same?
Yeah, Phoenix were quite disappointed with that. To have held the advantage and at that stage a place in the final. Here goes Nicky Vito. That's the kind of drive you want to see. A great ball, nobody challenging it, and Vito deserved a person on the end of that ball.
Yeah, Sylvia van Jaarsveld looking to get onto the end with it, but well cut out by young Courtney Fenstra. Grade 11 from Our Lady of Fatima, mixing it up with some of the big players here. Crusaders again looking for a big ball as they're pushing to get back into this game.
Over on Turf 2, you can see the games on the SuperSport Schools app. It will be Phoenix up against Old Phobians, I think it is.
That's Kersney Hockey Club.
Kersney, my apologies. The home club of Jethro Eustace. Of course, he's not here. He's over in Wales with the South African men. That's on the SuperSport Schools app. But obviously, you're here with us watching the end of this game.
This all action-packed game on Turf 1. Crusaders and Riverside keeping us on the edge of our seat here.
If you're at home and you were playing a drinking game. I once heard that when I commentated, somebody said they were going to play a drinking game every time I made a bad dad joke. So if you're one of those people, how do you find Will Smith in a snowstorm?
No idea.
You look for the Fresh Prince. Okay, I'll drink for that. Are we going to see another goal here? Are we going to get the crowd excited? Is Matsepo Modipani going to stamp another tick of authority on her defensive efforts? We've got a few minutes left to tell. Katsepo.
As we see, Crusaders pushing on here. It's a great ball through, but yet again cut out by young Charlene Bushhoff, who's also been spending a bit of time in America.
After the game, we're going to go and try and grab Coach John T. Robinson, and of course, maybe one of the heroes for the day, goal scorers. We'll see if we can grab maybe Jacinta Jubb and hear their views on the game. Of course, they might not want to talk to us if they let it go from here. Isabella De Rocha, great driven ball in, superb spring out of the way. That was incredible height on that spring. I haven't seen many keepers jump that high. She must still be young.
Yeah, Kayla Moody. Maybe she's a hard jumper.
High jump, long jump, all in one. History Klute, beware. Kayla Moody is for the title. As Riverside, I feel like that third goal probably just killed this game as a competition. Crusaders felt like they were still going to win this at 2-1. And Riverside asking for danger there, but at her own player, so benefits of doubt given.
Yeah, and Riverside still obviously have their review. We've seen it used tactically just to waste some time and slow down the opposition attack before. Will they look to use it in this chaka?
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's a great dynamic to change it up, to try it up. As we see Georgie driving through the middle. She loses the ball. Riverside once again just storming forward. There's a little bit more spring in their step. In fact, we spoke about the fact that those at altitude love the oxygen. Here's a chance. It's crossed. Matsepo Modipani. She makes the save. And Crusaders continue to survive in this game.
Katsepo again proving to be the difference here for Crusaders as we see that threat of Danny Rhodes and Jacinta Jubb. It's a Falcon.
That's one of those painful ones where you stop it into your own face. Not pleasant.
And obviously using a cooker just hurts slightly more.
Isabella De Rocha, in those close contact moments, she's really, really good. Unfortunately, picking the wrong ball. I think she had a good outside ball available. But in those close contacts, she's got such wonderful hands for those close 3D skills that she's able to create that pocket of space by just some good movement. And I think for the nice thing to watch about her is where you compare it to some young players, once she moves it, she doesn't look to beat 3 more players. She looks to get the ball on. Yeah, okay, maybe that time she chose the wrong pass, but it's a good tactic. Beat one, pass it. Yeah. When I used to coach, I used to have an amazing young man that played for my one team called Ryan Roberts. And I used to say when we were playing, so our game plan is give the ball to Ryan and let him dribble everyone. Don't do that, ladies and gents. That's not the way to play this game.
Unless
Vito trying a Ryan Roberts there. I can tell you that, it's a fairly common thing, but if you try and dribble yourself all the time, the bus will be full. Here's a chance. Oh, Matsepo Modipani is beaten. She takes her out and she's given the stroke. They might refer this just for the fact that they have a referral, but I think it would be a waste. She caught the player as he went around, and it is a penalty stroke for Riverside to confirm their space in the final, and a 3-1 victory. I mean a 4-1 victory lead.
again, just too much space shown there for Jacinta Jubb as we see Katsepo.
Yeah, ladies and gents, player of the match already is Katsepo Madipani. She's got a new name. because of the way she is dressed. Because she dies like a cat. She's got 9 lives of cat, but that was a disappointing stroke.
Yeah, slightly disappointing there. And that definitely would have sealed the game for Riverside as we have 9 minutes left in this game.
Richard Key showing where she's passing, picking it up. Here's Devon Hayes. She passes it through, and Sylvia van Jaarsveld allowing the keeper to get a bit too tight to her, not running off the back. I tell you what, a little bit of movement there, and it would have been a tap into an empty net.
Yeah, I think a player like Sylvia van Jaarsveld will be disappointed to not put something like that away.
We have 8 minutes left. If Crusaders want to set up a grandstand finish, as the crowd does start to continue to grow here. Was that deflection, but over the top. It was off a Riverside stick. They need to get a goal now if they want to still win this game. Of course, hopes on qualifying for a final and defending their crown are fading quickly. Probably fading quicker than my belief that Eskom are going to be better by the end of the year. But
Or like my hairline, some would say.
it's majestic.
As we see Kerry Eagleton getting back on the ball here. Riverside still pushing on for a 4th goal. Not really just settling and happy with this 3-1 lead. A team full of confidence at the moment as they look to make the final of the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge. We should see a packed home crowd tomorrow with 2 home teams. As we see Yoshi Blair driving into the circle. And again, good ball into Jacinta Jubb. With some space, she should put this away.
I tell you what, if they refer this, they may very well get a stroke. That looked like it was going in. And they've upgraded it to 2-stroke. It looked like it was going straight in, hit the foot. And opportunity number 2 for Riverside to put this game away. Can they learn from their previous errors?
Looks like they've changed the stroke taker. Tough crowd here at Riverside. You get 1 chance. And now it's Charlene who steps up to give Riverside a 4-1 lead.
Was a good coaching decision, that. Not much Matsepo could do about that. 4-1 to Riverside. They are going to be in the final tomorrow, barring an absolute monstrosity of a collapse. They will be in the final at their home tournament here at the Riverside Sports Club, hosting Kersney. Oh, that's going to be an absolute cracker tomorrow night. Forget watching Springbok rugby. The place to be tomorrow is here.
And as we know, the bar at Riverside is stocked up with TVs. So you can come down and watch both. What a place to watch the Springboks and Kersney versus Riverside. And what will be a titanic battle. Don't think Riverside have beaten Kersney, since 2017.
Also, it gears up well. Kersney, of course, haven't been, and no discredit to them in me saying this, but they haven't been convincing in their 2 victories. Both narrow victories, needing a late goal. But in Kelly Reid, Kelsey Swanepoel, they've got game breakers and players who know what they're doing. So, I mean, it could be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, Kersney missing some of their stalwart players. Someone like Sarah Bingham is on holiday. Natalie Estevez, I think, is with the SA under 16 girls. I saw Jodie Connolly went down injured in the first game, and she's a huge player for them. And another chick, Lou, has gone back to America. So 4 of their key players missing at the moment. Could that work in Riverside's advantage tomorrow as they win another penalty corner?
Poor discipline there from Crusaders. It was just a free hit, but Nicky Vito hitting the ball away, and it was upgraded to a penalty corner. Kind of decision that an umpire looks at and says, seriously, you want to make it that easy for me? Thank you.
Can Riverside put it away?
Very fortunate that there was an early break, because that was an atrocious push in.
Yeah, Coach John T. Robinson will be disappointed with that one. Big chat here in the huddle. Where will Riverside go? Will they go with Charlene off the slap again? Or just into jub?
That's a great injection in comparison. A nice slap, good defense, and you know, as a fan, I don't mind that. That's been well defended, but the execution of the penalty corner has been good.
100%. Force a save from the PCD as we see 3 minutes to go here. Riverside back on the ball with Lisa Payne. Well cut out by Crusaders. Riverside pushing on for another goal here. As you see a great carry into the circle and just winning the long corner. Riverside just closing this game off at the moment. Better build up here from Crusaders, looking to get a consolation goal. Show and go. As we see, good circle entry. And again, well cut out there by Megan Kariges. She's also had a great game tonight for Riverside. Nikki Vito isn't done yet with a good ball into the D. Thanks, Jabu. As we look now, Crusaders look to get a goal back into this game. 1 minute 30 left on the clock. Silver for Yarsfeld with injection as the ball falls to Alex, and it's a great flick. And it's a great save by the young Riverside goalkeeper. Crusaders give the ball to Nikki Vito. What can they do from here? This is much better play from Crusaders. Where has this been for most of this chukka? Big push in the back there. Crusaders looking to get one more with a minute to go. Ball falling to Chloe D'Souza here. That's better hockey from Crusaders. And Kerry Everton just showing her experience there. 40 seconds left on the clock as Crusaders are shouting to the players to keep it and just close off this game. Megan Krieger says no, let's push for one more. Cut out by Nikki Vito. "20 seconds left on the clock. Can Crusaders get one more? Big ball into Alex here. And the ball just drifts out of the baseline. And it's a Crusaders long corner. Yang from the sideline, 2 minutes left, but time is up on the scoreboard. Crusaders are pushing for more. And again, cut out by Eloise Walters, showing her experience here. This is much better play by Crusaders as they win a sideline hit here. It's confirmed there's 2 minutes left on the clock. This game far from over as Crusaders are looking to get one back. Unfortunately, the ball goes out for 16-yard hit. Charlene Bushoff has been great in this game, just looking to slow things down. That's a great ball, and it's a great slap. Ball bounces for the threatening Jacinta Jubb. That's a great ball by JJ. Danny Rhodes. Can she put it away? And that is it. Jacinta Jubb and Danny Rhodes connecting yet again. An incredible forward pairing. Getting another goal for Riverside. And I think that's their fifth. 5-1 up, a couple minutes to go. I think that is game. And that is Riverside booking their spot into the final. Chloe D'Souza isn't done yet. Nikki Vito getting back on the ball as Crusaders pushed for one consolation goal. Big ball in here by Nikki Vito. Can it fall for Sylvia? Crusaders pushing here. Kerry Eagleton. Courtney Fenstra. Riverside proving to be solid in defense. Not too much longer left on the clock here. Well cut out there again by Courtney Fenstra, who has been solid all evening here for Riverside. And that's the hooter. And that brings the end of what has been a classic game here. Riverside going 5-1 up against title holders Crusaders. And Riverside booking their spot in the final. Now over to Jubbs, who looks to grab a couple of players and get some post-match reviews.
It was a pulsating affair, and it ended in victory for the host, a spot in the final tomorrow. Shalene, you must be stoked with how the game went, and of course, always nice to get a goal for yourself.
No, definitely. Very happy with how we played. We really just stuck to our principles and very happy with the outcome.
At 2-1 down, Crusaders looked like they were starting to come back into the game. You also met a resilient keeper in Matsepo Modipani, but did you just know the goals would come eventually?
If we just stuck to our principles like we did, we knew they would come, and exactly what happened.
Kersney in the final tomorrow. How badly do you want to get one over them?
Very excited. We lost to them in the regular season here, so very excited to go for it here in the final.
Awesome, congratulations. We'll bring in the coach next, John T. Robinson, a man who doesn't need much introduction. If you know anything about hockey, you know everything about Johnsy. Johns, congrats. I know your mind's already casting ahead to tomorrow's game and, of course, tonight's game for the men. But you're in the final. Congrats.
Thanks. Really, really excited for the ladies. And it's a product of the hard work they've been putting in for the last 6 to 8 months. And it's a special group of ladies that have worked really, really hard. So as a reward, this is just incredible. I'm really, really stoked for them.
It was a tough game. You found an inspired goalkeeper, Matsepo Modipani. You found a wonderful defensive performance from Crusaders. But you always had that little bit about you and managed to put it away in the end.
Watching back some of the games, we saw that there are a couple of spaces in and around. And if we exploited them smartly, as the games went on, we could take them deep into the third, deep into the fourth, and then we'll create even better opportunities. I think we showed that with some of the opportunities that Jacinta created, and then Danny ends up going and finishing. So exciting.
Awesome. Kursney tomorrow. It's a big one. It's a grudge match almost. Maybe I'm overbilling it, but it is a KZN derby. Also time to get one back over them.
Definitely. Time to put in a quality performance. We weren't quite on it and we weren't quite sharp the first time around, so I'm excited to play them with the form that we're finding. They always a good team, really coached well by Mike. So great challenge and finals. There's always excitement.
And of course, good luck for your game because you also want to get to the men's final.
Straight to warm up right now. I'm on it.
There we go. And of course, last but not least, our player of the match. She got herself some pink socks. I'm not sure how she's going to wear them on top of her pads, but it is none other than Matsepo Modipani, the lady who just could not be beaten for most of the game. Here she is receiving her prize from Belgotex. I'll quickly move out the picture so you can get a beautiful shot of this player of the match, Matsepo Modipani. Matt, before you disappear, I'll grab you for a quick word. Thank you. So, Matt, I know we chatted before this tournament. You were looking forward to it. Well, you did what you had to do. You did what you could for your team. It's been tough missing quite a number of players, but, hey, man, a keeper loves a performance like that.
Yes, definitely. It always something that also exposes your weakness as a keeper, so then you learn from it. You know what you can work on when you go back after the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. So, 3 years ago, you guys won the tournament. COVID has delayed it. Now you've come without half your team. But there's some exciting young players that we saw tonight. The depth of Crusaders is impressive, still competitive, still looking to go out on a high tomorrow in your crossover games.
Definitely looking to finish with a win tomorrow, and also super excited because we know it's going to be also competitive, and we have to just convert our chances. Yeah.
South African goalkeeping is in good health. We've seen Pumelela Mbanda having a great tournament. You had a wonderful tournament at the Hockey Fives in Lausanne. Nepo Sarakas with the team. We saw some youngsters playing now against Namibia. Why are our goalkeepers so flippin' good?
That is a good question. I think maybe because we just love being in the goal box. We're passionate about being a goalkeeper, and we put the extra work. So we have to do the agility. We have to do keeper sessions. So it's what you put in at the end of the day.
You were nicknamed Katsepo by the commentator team because you spring around like a cat and the orange of Garfield, and that might stick. So congratulations, Katsepo. Well played, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And that brings us to an end of the game. Riverside knew they needed to come out here and get a win to secure a space in the final. They did that, winning 5-1. Tomorrow they play their neighbours, Kursney, who they didn't beat in regular season, who they haven't beaten in a couple of years. It's going to be a thrilling game, and it'll be live here on ES Media Live. Make sure you jump in, catch us on the SuperSport Schools app. This is the Belgotex Elite Club Challenge, and everything about it is elite.